illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable Speaker,
You on your point of order.
Honorable Speaker,
You on your point.
they are not picking up at all. They put up their voices and they're angry. I'm sorry. I am in the bed.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought a very family. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back. Live here with me in the studio to dissect these stories making the headlines is Barrister Adams Asim, who is a legal practitioner and a socio-political analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning to you.
And I also have Honorable Etekon Obediah, the Secretary General Ijo Youth Council, IYC Worldwide. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be with you today once again.
Okay, straight to the stories now. The newly appointed Deputy Governor of Edo State was sworn in on Monday by the Chief Judge, Daniel Okumbowa. He is Omo Bayo Marvelous Godwins, a 37-year-old engineer with a track record of progressive professional experience in the oil and gas sector. He has also been active in politics in his local government, building bridges of trust with the people and mobilizing them for common causes, breaking political barriers to the charging of his opponents. Now, I'm going to start with you, Honorable. You are a young man and you're youth. Looking at the age of this new Deputy Governor of Edo State, there's been talks, recent talks, especially coming from the AAC presidential candidate Showore. That was last week. He stated that young people are more interested in being personal assistants, young Nigerians, more interested in being personal assistants to government officials and politicians than actually participating in governance in Nigeria. Do you think that is the case right now, seeing how young the new Edo State's Deputy Governor is?
Thank you for the question. In Nigeria political settings, people see the youths as being ended up of carrying arms to follow the political godfathers. But the game is changing every day. Every day things keep changing. Today you can see what is happening in Edo State. The young man, the current deputy governor that has just been sworn in, is less than 40 years, which is 38 years. That will tell you that gradually Nigeria is changing. What we have been yearning for since, we have been fighting for, we have been agitating that the youth should be given a place to occupy the position of trust. Not only occupying the position of appointment, maybe being appointed as a personal assistant to governor, appointed as a personal assistant to House of Assembly member, House of Rep member, and every day you see the elderly keep having a place in the governance, while youth keep carrying arms and be pursuing, fighting their fellow brothers to ensure that the elders keep ruling. Today, what is happening in Edo State today has really shown that Nigeria is at the verge of taking the new dimension. So I really appreciate the governor of Edo State, our dear brother, His Excellency Governor Godswill Obaseki, for the bold step. Though in the other ways round, I didn't support the impeachment. Let us be frank to ourselves. I did not support the impeachment of Shaibu. I did not support it because, to me, that impeachment did not follow due process. It didn't follow due process. You cannot just impeach somebody on just trump up charges. Telling somebody that just because of a leak and information, he just give that allegation that he leaked the secret information about the government of Edo State, that this guy is the reason of his impeachment, and they started the impeachment process. At the end of the day, he was impeached. To me, that impeachment did not follow due process. It's not. It doesn't. It did not want impeachment. That offense, if actually he committed that offense, it does not what. It does not what. So that is all I have to say for now.
Okay. Moving on to you, sir.
Okay.
Our able barrister. Adams,
Yes.
what is your take? Do you believe that the elders, in quotes, have given the youths a chance to actively participate in governance, especially here in the South?
No. I don't think the elders or so-called elders, have given the youth a chance in politics. If you look at other areas in the academia, you find out that the elders cannot thrive in the academia. That is why they left those areas for the youths. Most elders are not PhD holders. Most elders are not lecturers. The lecturing fold and flock, are the youths. But politics, elders have taken over the whole place. What I call the geriatric oligarchs. It's not only in Nigeria, it's even in the US. If you go to their Congress, you find out that you scarcely see a man of 37 years being a senator. All their senators are men who are above 60 going up to 70 something. The present president was a senator for so many years, decades, and he left there in his 70s, and so many others. Nancy Pelosi is about 80 something years. He was a speaker of the House of Reps of America. Same in Nigeria here, to the extent that in the US, the people were now advocating that we should change the narrative of the geriatric oligarchs that have taken over the whole political space. The same in Nigeria here. In Rivers State, in Edo State, anywhere, South, like you said, our South here, go through the landscape and you see those who are dominating political affairs. They are all those who belong to that geriatric oligarchy. And if you narrow it down, like what Showori said, I somewhat believe and align my thoughts and argument with Showori. The reason is not far-fetched. For instance, people are calling the governor, deputy governor that was just sworn in, 37 years old, as a youth man. 37, for me, I've seen a lot of people, even outside this country, where if you are 37 years old, you are regarded as a full-grown man. So if the man is jubilating because of his age, is now a deputy governor, that tells you that it was an opportunity that was given to him. He did not struggle for it. He did not do anything to merit it. He just got it there because he was selected by whoever that was there. That is what Showori is talking about. Ordinarily, if not because of the feud between the governor and the deputy, the ex-deputy, I don't think Obaseki can even consider, that young man, as we call them in Nigeria here. I don't think he will even consider that. And if you look at the position he's taking now, how many months are you going to be there? But let me just get there. Let me just be there, even if it's 1 month. That is the mentality that most of us have. And I'm surprised that the youths are having the same mentality. See, there are situations that you see things happen, and the person chosen to be said, "Oh God, please, I don't need this kind of position. I don't want to play second fiddle to you. Because of the way you disgrace this man, I believe that if I offend you in any way politically, you are going to disgrace me the same way." So if we begin to have those kind of reticent conduct from people, the youth, for instance, we need to have such conduct of integrity, that we say, no, I wouldn't drink from that same cup. Even though you've selected me, what was the modalities used? And the modalities used by Obaseki to do this was for his political gain. I'm from Edo North, I'm from Edo State. Now what happened is this: Obaseki is a Edo South man, and he is looking now that the battle ahead, September 12th, is that the the Edo South and Edo Central, there's going to be a battle royale because the two candidates are from Edo Central, Obaseki is from Edo South. So they need a balancing act. That is why he had to go and choose Omobayo, who is Omakoko Edo, what we refer to as the Afemai or the Edo North, to balance the equation. Now, so he chose that young man for his political end. Ordinarily, what should have taken place if fairness were to be? The person of Philip Shaibu from Edo North, from a particular constituency, from an area that he is. What we normally understand in politics in Nigeria is that when the man goes, choose from that same particular, nucleus, settlement that you took that man from for balancing. But now he's playing the policy of divide and rule, using that youth man to now balance the equation. Now the youth man will now become a scapegoat because, for instance, if the tenure ends by September thereabout, that is the end of the man. He cannot participate in government or governance. So these things are something that the trajectory is very worrisome, as case may be. Not too young to run. It's a bill that was passed into law. The youth man does not need the geriatric oligarchs for him to survive and sprout. I mean, I don't know what exactly is happening here. We so much depend on people like us who are old and whatever to lead us. Whereas in those days, at the age of 25, 26, they could go on and rule this country. Murtala Mohammed was 20, whatever. The Jet Spiff was 23 years old when he became military administrator of Rivers State. Samuel Ogbomudia was 24 years old when he became administrator of the then Bende State, Midwest State, Bende State. There was no law on not too young to run. Those who took over, who planned the coup in 1966, the average age was about 25 as at that time. So what has stopped, instead of progressing, we are retrogressing. So there's a problem. That is why when I see associations of youth, coming to join youths, old politicians like me, and begin to take sides with them, I look at them and say, you people don't even know what you are doing. Let me tell you one thing. In the whole of Africa right now, there's a mantra change. In Uganda, Bobby Wine is there, he's 30-something years old. In is this Sierra Leone or whatever they did that election? No, Senegal. The young man there is about 40 years old. He's the president, he's not even governor. President. Bobby Wine is even coming to become president in the next election. In Kenya, it's the same thing. You understand the point? Now look at what is going on in Africa, and you find out that the youths are taking it. No geriatric oligarch will hand over power to you. You have to struggle and fight for it. That's why I love what Chore is doing at his age. You understand? So, for me, I don't think that the youths of this era are ready to capture power. You don't wait. You capture power. If you don't capture power, nobody gives you. Just like technology. That is why you see people, all countries of the world, if you develop television and I cannot develop it, I will send spies to your country, go and find out how you made that TV, and I come to my country to develop it. That is why you see countries send spies. Russia has spies who goes to America, goes to China to go and check what they are doing. So you capture it. Nobody gives you technology just like that or power. That is where I will rest it for now.
Okay, Honorable, I see you concurring to what Barrister Asim has said. Do you would like to make a contribution? Would you like to say
yes, I would like to chip in something. The game of politics, and that is why it's called politics, because it's a game of interest. Saying about Obaseki appointing somebody based on maybe how close he is with the person, I want to say that politics is a game of interest, and that cannot be ruled out in politics. Anything interest cannot never be ruled out in politics. So if Obaseki appointed somebody that is close to him as this deputy, that is the game. That is the game of politics. Though I want to also diverse a little that while you are doing that, because it's a game of interest, always do it in the way that everybody will be carried along, because the zoning system has to be maintained. Very, very important. If the impeached deputy governor is from maybe Edo North, Abi? Edo North. Yeah, it's from Edo North. So it is a behoove on the governor of the state, our brother Godwin Obaseki, to appoint somebody from where the impeached deputy governor from, so that the whole thing will be balanced. But for him not to do that, that is what they call also politics. That is the interest. He has interest somewhere. You know, when something is zoned to somewhere in politics, when they say something, the position is zoned to a particular place, there is somebody there already they have in their mind to use. So for Obaseki to have choose somebody outside where that thing is supposed to go, I still see it as a game of interest, but it is not welcome by the people.
Okay. Anambra State government has adopted the United Nations stipulations for schools to end daily academic activities by 2:30 p.m. The Anambra State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chuma Ude, made this known in a statement on Monday in Awka. The adoption is in line with Governor Chukwuma Soludo's desire for school children to have adequate rest and interaction with their parents before commencement of the next day's activities. Honorable, what do you think about this? Do you believe that this will positively impact the educational sector in Anambra State? Do you think it would impact education in Anambra? Closing 30 minutes earlier from the regular time.
It's okay. You see, here in River State, I don't know how they operate their own educational system, but I know here in River State, even right from when I was in secondary school, we do close school by 2 o'clock. Sharp 2 o'clock, we've closed. Unless there is extra curriculum activities, maybe extramural classes and the rest of the thing. Otherwise, we do close. The normal official time for closing of school in River State, I know it's 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So if the people of Anambra, maybe they used to close their secondary school by 3 o'clock, I believe that is what that is how it used to be in Anambra State. But if the new commissioner for education, our sister Professor Ngozi, has come up with this new plan, saying that 30 minutes should be deducted from the official time, or official closing hour, to enable students have a good time with their family. I don't think that 30 minutes can have any effect on the students. So to me, it's a welcome development, because home affair is very, very important. Having more time with your family, having more time with your for mothers, the parents, having time with their children, I think is a good thing. So I really want to commend the governor of Anambra State,
Soludo.
Excellency Soludo, for this ample opportunity given to the students of Anambra State. Let me stop here for now. Maybe as we go on, I will still have more things to add.
All right. Barrister Asin, what's your take on this, please?
No, it's very apt. It ought to be 2 p.m. even as it is. Because if you look at most of us, when I see kids around 4 o'clock carrying their bags, or their parents, moving up and down, say, I want to go and pick my kids in school. And it's 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. and you say the school closes around 3:30, 4, I just begin to shake my head. I said, what do you think you are doing? Let me tell you. I grew up in this country in the mid-70s and early 80s downwards. I know that when I was in primary school, I used to finish, classes and still have time to go and look for my mother and my father or meet them in the farms. And after school, I would just get into I get into my house, drop my bag, get my uniforms off. Then I wear my whatever, I run to the farm to go and meet them there, and that is where we're going to take our lunch. We were disciplined. You understand? And as at that time, we were in school. Who cares? Your father will put lunch box for you or whatever. Who are you? The little you have is what they call water bottle, which you string to your shoulders and you run up and down to school. You drink when you are thirsty. We don't even know what hunger was, then. Finish your school, come back to the house, you eat. Some of us also, if your parents are not in the farm, you spend about 2 hours after school, you go and hawk granite and hawk whatever, without complaints. And that is why you see my generation today, I believe we are the last generation, that, participated in a well-disciplined and well-drilled family society in Nigeria, family unit in Nigeria. I remember vividly, I'm saying this, it's like reminiscences I'm seeing right now of what happens. So when you keep kids in school, they leave very early in the morning, they will stay there. I don't know what they are learning. You can talk from now to tomorrow and the man there does not even understand what you are talking about. When you say school closed, he will say, yeah, school closed, you carry his bag and go home. What did you learn today? Say, I forgot. Because while you were teaching him, the boy was sleeping. Or he was even feeling very sleepy and tired. So that is the situation. That is why we have said the curriculum that is why United Nations curriculum, like what other countries are doing. By 1 o'clock, you should leave your school and go home. You understand? We stress ourselves too much. Why do you think, the only good thing I see in all of what this is that, well, because by virtue of our training here in Nigeria, that is where you see when our kids, our brothers go abroad, they excel, they take first. Because the way they drill us here is different from the way they teach them in the US and the UK. You understand the point? You can't force a child to learn. There are ways you have to persuade a child to learn. Keeping him in the school, one society can come and sue your school and say, you are falsely imprisoning those children and whatever the case may be. And I believe when they are relaxed, they learn better. So I support what they are saying, but the only thing I will ask them to do is that instead of 2:30, take up the 30 and let them be 2. It should be 2 o'clock. They should be back home to meet their parents. Now, for those parents who are not even farmers, maybe they are well-to-do, as the case may be. When your child comes home by 2 o'clock, he has the opportunity to rest, do 1 or 2 things, play around for some time before he goes to maybe have his siesta and read his books in a relaxed atmosphere. You understand? Some time ago, some years ago, I saw my kids and I see that they come back, they are so tired. To even put their uniform is something they cannot do because they are what did you do in school today? They say they didn't do anything, but they were just there. But because the teacher wanted to stay till that 3:30, they will remain there. And they are tired, bored, fagged out, and fatigued. Teacher will still keep them till 3:30 or thereabout. That is not, it's not a good way of training a child. So I am in support of this. But unfortunately, I am telling you that Anambra State will not even imbibe this. The Nigerian mentality and culture, they will tell they need a law backing this from the House of Assembly. And that will take time. But you know now, they forget about all these things. So these are just showcases that we look at. There's no problem with, having children closed by 2 p.m.
Okay. We will go on a very short break, and when we're back, the conversation continues.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable
On the point of
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
dramatic blowout. Governor Sanwo-Olu appoints solo traveler tourism ambassador. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State has appointed a 20-year-old travel content creator, Pelumi Nubi, as the state's tourism ambassador. This was made known by the governor's senior special assistant on new media, Jubril Gawat, in a tweet via his profile on X on Monday. Nubi, who completed her solo road trip from London, United Kingdom to Lagos, Nigeria, on Sunday, was received at the Nigeria-Benin Republic border on behalf of Lagos State Government by the State Commissioner of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Mrs. Toke Benson Awoyinka, and the Special Advisor Tourism, Arts and Culture, Idris Aregbe. Nubi embarked on her journey on a solo trip in a car on January 30, 2024. Okay, bringing this back home, Honorable, what do you think is the situation of the tourism sector right here in Rivers State? Do you think there's an active tourism sector here in Rivers State?
If you ask me, I will say yes. Let me draw you back. Thank God, when I came in, there was something you told me, that you visited the Ikuru town, Atlantic Beach, Ikuru town in Andoni. And that is part of tourism. We have other tourist center, such as even where I'm from Unyada. If you come to Unyada during a festive period, my community, you will see a lot of tourist activities going on. People came all the way from other states to visit, to have fun. And for that, they boost the economic activities of the place. So there is tourism booming in River State. If you go to a place like Calabari too, they have something like that in Calabari. You know, when you say tourism, it's just because of, if you go to look at what Governor Wike built during his tenure, what they call a peace park. Peace park. I call it tourism because you can go there, you can go to that place, you have fun, mostly on weekends. If you pass here, you see people, the whole of the place full with a crowd. So tourism activities is actually booming in River State.
I mean, compared to the other states,
like which state are you talking
Lagos
about?
State, compared
like
to Lagos State, would you say that the current government, even though it's new, or let's say the previous government and this new government, is doing enough to boost the tourism sector here in River State? If you compare both cases, you compare to how much Lagos State does and how much is being done right now in River State, would you say it comes close in any way?
There is no way when it has to do with the tourism that you compare Lagos State to River State. You know, Lagos State started their tourism activities before River State. And you know, River State now is coming up, and I know with time we'll compare, we'll meet up, we'll be competing with Lagos State. With what the present governor now, if not for this crisis they have in the state, I know he has good vision. He has an intention to boost the tourist attraction in the River State. I believe, let's give him some time. I know he will do something. But in other ways round, it's about the Pelumi, who drove all the way from London to Lagos. He drove all the way from London to Lagos. I know similar thing happened during Buhari tenure, when Buhari won election. Buhari won election, and a young man trekked all the way from, was it Sokoto to Abuja, just to show solidarity to the to the former president Buhari. After he was declared as the winner of that election, the young man trekked all the way from Sokoto or Kaduna to Abuja, unknowingly to him that he suffered for nothing. At the end of the day, after a few months, when Buhari he was disappointed in Buhari. based on his activities in governance. The young man who trekked to show solidarity to President, the former President Buhari, was disappointed. And later I heard he climbed a tree and he hung himself and died because of that. So lots of things is happening in this country.
Oh, all right. Barrister Asims, looking at the legal aspect, the legal angle, what policies do you think can be implemented here in the South to boost the tourism sector here?
Thank you very much. The tourism sector, does not depend largely on the legal sector. Rather, it depends on government and its initiative for investments. Why I'm saying this is because of the fact that Nigeria has a lot of, tourist attractions, but they are not well harnessed and exploited. Now, in every part of the country, you have a place that you can call a tourist attraction. In Rivers State, for instance, you have this beach. There's a name they call it. I've forgotten the name. Is it Buguma Beach or whatever the case may be? Those areas. You have so many of them around here that the government can work on and make it very attractive and now become an attraction that will draw people across the world to that place. Like P2B once said, that what you do, investing and investment is just like the honey pot. Once you put it here, honey will begin to, bees will come from all over the place, come and, take care of whatever they are doing there. So if you go to Cross River State, you have many tourist attractions. You see the Tinapa, as the case may be. There was an enabling environment, legally speaking, that made Tinapa there. But Tinapa today is dead. The only one that is even trying to rear his head is a carnival, or whatever they call it. That is not even an attraction. It's a carnival car. It's just some days. We're talking about something that is there, cast in stone. You can come any time of the day. You see it there. If you go to Akwa Ibom, the same. If you go to Edo, you are going to see a lot of, tourist attraction. Like there's a place they call Sobe in Edo State. You are going to see rocks that looks like human. The Kukuruku Hills and Mountains in Edo State is listed as one of the Asian tourist centers under the United Nations. But the Nigerian government and Edo State government that own that particular whatever has neglected it. Is it the Kogosi warm water, whatever, is it Ondo, Ekiti State, whatever the case may be? Is it the Olumo Rock in Abeokuta? Even the Aso Rock, where we only call our state house here, if you look the Aso Rock from the distance, it looks like a mother carrying a child. And that is things that we should exploit. There was a time we had the opportunity of visiting Kenya, and I was surprised, and I still marvel till tomorrow. I asked myself this question. I said, if you get to this game reserve, if you are not very careful, you get to the airport, you see white people, you will think that Kenya is populated mostly by whites. No. People from all over the world come in there to watch games. You dare not go there and farm. You dare not go there and kill animals. If you are a hunter, if you are caught, you can be jailed for life. The way they made it so luxurious that I can even decide to go to Kenya today and stay in safari for the next 1 year. Everything is there, the ambience and everything is there. If it's food I get it there. Relaxation, whatever as the case may be, I get it there because that is their mainstay. But in Nigeria here, can you go to Yankari Games Reserve? Can you go to the Mambila Plateau? The Mambila Plateau, one of the most beautiful sceneries we've had in the world. The few people that tried to go there and develop it, they were kidnapped. So security-wise, there's nothing they can do. People just leave those areas to just rot away. The Agongo Festival, fishing festival that used to be a perennial and annual show that used to even draw people from UK, America, etc. to come and just watch, is dead right now. So what kind of country are we? So that is where the problem is. So it is not even a matter of legality. It's not a matter of legality. It's a matter of consciousness. It's a matter of innovativeness. It's a matter of proactiveness or whatever for the government to develop the tourist sector. All over the world, countries with tourist attractions don't play with it because apart from oil and gas that we depend on solely here, followed by agriculture, ICT and whatever the case may be, the next revenue mobilization sector is the tourism sector. You understand? I have seen a situation where you see a hotel planted in the heart of a game reserve, a 5-star hotel better than Nikon, planted in the heart of the game reserve. From your windows you're watching animals, you're watching lions moving on, elephants, etc. But it's fenced. So people want to take pictures and do a lot of things. Most of the things we see in our documentary that I see in Kenya, you go to Botswana, you go to South Africa, they are not fake, they are real. When you see people play with lions, my generation, I don't even think those of my generations now were the last that saw a live lion in the zoo. I don't think there's anywhere in this river state or around the south now that you have a zoo functioning where you say your kids go and see a lion and see a tiger and see a leopard. I have never seen. We are the last generation. And when I went to Kenya, I told my Nigerian people, went in a group, I said, let me tell you, do you know that this kind of thing can replicate itself in Nigeria? Because the Yankari Game Reserve is not even as beautiful as the safari this in Kenya. The landscape is not even as beautiful and scenic like the Yankari Game Reserve. You understand? The only thing is that it's larger because they acquired more lands to enable the animals forage around.
Okay, sir.
So it's a thing we have not developed and harnessed. There's a lot of money there. So I'm sorry, please. Like what governor of Lagos State is doing right now is that he's trying to encourage, people with this kind of attraction. You know why right now? If you go to this young girls or woman's handle, social media handle now, you are going to see there is heavy traffic, on her handle. And majority of those who are patronizing that particular handle are foreigners because they want to see how they can use her as a link to see if they can come to next week and watch some one or two things that will attract their fancy. Okay, sir. You spoke about the beauty of the other African countries when it comes to tourism. Yes. Do you think that is? Don't you think that it is a result of the maintenance culture there? Because here in Nigeria, we have tourism centers. We have tourist centers. The Yankari Game Reserve is still functional. Even the Jos Wildlife Center is very functional. I was there last year, and seeing that these things are really there, they're there. Bringing it down to River State, bringing it down to the south. Don't you think that it could be as a result of a maintenance culture than a problem of it not being in existence at all? You are correct, because all these things are in existence, but they have run into comatose. Some of them are functioning half their capacity. So what policies, do you think there are policies that can be put in place to have a better maintenance culture for the tourism sector here in River State and even in Nigeria as a whole? What they need to do is that we should de-emphasize the reliance on oil and gas. We should also de-emphasize this begging every month, going to Abuja to go and pick what they call a monthly allocation. I have never seen where that is practiced. That 36 states governors. Let me tell you one thing, all the 36 state governors, even the deputy that was just sworn in yesterday, he knows about section 162, sub 1 of the constitution. He knows how to divide and what he's going to get monthly from the federation account. because that is where they are interested. It's just like you sitting down. I am sitting down here. I don't work. I sit down. My dad will come from somewhere and send me $10,000 every month. What will I be doing with that money? I will not be thinking of investment. I will not be thinking of building houses. But I'll forget that there's a day my dad will die, or those who are financing me will die. They will no more. So every month I wait. When it's about 25th, I call my crew together and say, in 3 days now we're going to start our groove. We start grooving with the money. Because I don't have any way to think on what to do. It's just like those who work in the oil industry. With due respect to them, many of them, when they leave that place, they find out that upon all the monies they were being paid, they have no investment. It's the same thing with states and Nigeria as a country. Now, when the governors look at it, most governors cannot construct road today. They cannot build houses. They cannot even give what they call free or near free education or near free healthcare, because the finances they give to them, they will say it's lame. But if they have other means of making money to add to what they are collecting from Abuja, you see that a governor can use all the monies he has to develop the state, apart from embezzlement that they do. So we have to de-emphasize, this oil sharing and whatever the case may be. Concentrate in agriculture, concentrate in tourism, as the case may be. Tourism is a great and gross earner for a number of countries. Do you know that the state of Israel today depends solely on agriculture, followed by tourism? Tourists go to Jerusalem to go and bow down in a war, do whatever and do the rest and say they are praying. They go there and pay. And the moment you spend a week or 3 weeks there, you are paying, you are buying things in their own currency, developing the economy. The same thing in Saudi Arabia. Around in the next 1 month or thereabout now, about 100,000 pilgrims from Nigeria will leave for Saudi Arabia. Iran will send about maybe 1 million self. America will send about, they go and do what they call Hajj. Do you know that during that period of Hajj, Saudi Arabia came out and said that the money, the revenue generated by way of foreign direct investment, that is buying all these things from tourists who come, that is more than budget of the countries in Africa put together. It's more than the budget of all the countries in Africa put together. Challenge me and you dig this, I'm telling you now. For that, I think it's about 2 weeks so 3 weeks so. It's more than what the budget we have. That is just for that 3 weeks period. People come in there to spend $10,000, $100,000. While they are there, they buy things, go out and go back, just because they want to run around Kaaba, the black stone.
Okay, Barrister.
So it's all these things we need to develop. And you know that, and what drives tourism is security. What drives tourism is security. In Kenya, we didn't need to be looking back at our shoulders over whether we have people, armed robbers coming to raid us and the rest of it. Even though we have the rangers who were leading us or whatever. But when we talk about security, nobody is talking about kidnappers coming there to come and kidnap anybody or disturb you or rob you, as the case may be. So you have that quietude of mind that you come and operate. So the nation must show security first of all, then concentrate on this and see whether the nation will not do better than we are doing right now.
All right. We are going to go on a very short break, and when we are back, the conversation continues.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only around 8 AM.
Atlantic Blowout. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, said Emirates Airline will resume operations in Nigeria on or before June 2024. According to the minister, the Nigerian government and the United Arab Emirates have resolved issues, and the airline is set to announce the date for its first flight. Speaking further, Keyamo stated, "I am announcing to Nigerians for the first time that I just received a letter from Emirates now. The letter is with me. I have a hard copy thanking you for all the efforts we made. Mr. President was the showman here. He was the one who pushed for it." Emirates Airline halted its flight operations to Nigeria in October 2022 because it couldn't repatriate funds held in the country. The airline attributed the October suspension to the 85 billion dollars revenue trapped in Nigeria. Barrister Adams, I want you to react to this.
Of course, it's a good development. If according to, as we call it in Niger data, if it's not audio. You know, when they say audio, it means fake something. When they say that is audio, they say the thing is it's not real. Now, what am I trying to say? In 2022, like they rightly said, the UAE, Arab Emirates, or what they call them, and Nigeria, they had a diplomatic dispute. And the dispute arose from the fact that the federal government, as at that time, under Buhari, had to put on hold some monies that were accrued, to the airline. And the airline, the Emirates airline was not very happy. Let me tell you one thing. You know that the Emirates airline is one of the biggest airlines in the world, and their net worth is more than the budget and even assets of some countries in Africa. So they are a powerful, a very strong, institution. So they now prepared the state, and the state now said they sever that diplomatic ties with Nigeria in terms of air freighting and lifting of passengers. And they now restricted the number of flights that will leave Nigeria to the Emirates. And the Emirates is where this Dubai, or whatever they call it, these people, where they go to. So that thing hurt Nigeria very, very well, because a lot of Nigerians, couldn't travel because there were no flights. And they now started giving what they call visa restrictions. Going to Dubai those days was you just get up and you say you are going to Dubai. Tomorrow we are there. But now, they now brought in, some restrictive codes that restricted Nigerians from traveling. So that became a diplomatic row, which the two countries had to, go and straighten out. I think when Tinubu got into government, he has to break the ice, because he saw that Nigerians were the losers in this case, because the Arab man or the United Arab Emirates man find it or scarcely come to Nigeria to do business here. But we go in droves and flocks to Dubai, for instance, to go and transact. Many of us who are traders, if you take off Dubai, from our list of traveling places to buy our goods, you are starving us. It's like taking fish out of waters. So that is why Tinubu had to intervene. When Tinubu intervened, they entered into bilateral agreement on air and whatever his case may be. But at the end of the day, Angelou Gelali, who was on the train or whatever of the president at that time when Tinubu visited, came up and said that this issue has been resolved, and that Emirates Air, is going to resume flight operations direct to Nigeria, vice versa. But we waited at the end of the day, we found that it was not true, which they later recanted, as the case may be.
Now in this case,
yes,
we've been given a month, we've been given a time.
Yes.
And it's June. So we're going to, should we wait till June to see the change? Now that Tinubu has come in to intervene in this matter, should we expect some sort of positive change in the economy with this intervention?
Of course, every Nigerian man is hopeful, and myself, I'm very hopeful also. But in Nigeria, there's what we normally talk, we say, let's wait and see. And coincidentally, that is my middle name in my place. Aikemia is my middle name, my native name in my place. Say, let's watch or let's wait and see. You understand the point now? So when you give policy statements like this, in June is not far from here. So we bated breath, we will be very enthusiastically waiting to see whether this is going to be audio or not, as the case may be. But I believe that this time around, Festus Keyamo, must have spoken, from the authority and what he has before him. And I believe that this has been resolved between the two countries, which is better for us. In international relations, two countries go into a different kind of diplomatic row. This is one of them. It can be sports. it can be trade. This one is about aviation and airline business. So let them resolve. I'll be very, very happy if Emirates resume their flights back to Nigeria and also allow Nigeria to go to their country with the same volume of traffic that they get here or there, as the case may be, and allow Nigerians to trade freely in their country and reside there. Do you know that some time ago, the UAE, because of this diplomatic row, were now punishing Nigerians who were resident in Dubai and other parts of the Emirates, because they felt that they have to put an eye on what's it called, the Nigerian people that are there. Even the notorious hush puppy, had his hands burnt, because he was staying in that particular Dubai, whatever his case may be. But with the diplomatic role,
that's a different case.
Yes, I know, but they now put an eye. They put an eye on him, and they had to do that. I'm not supporting him, but I believe that was what led to his arrest. From Dubai to America to today. We don't know where he is right now, whether he's doing well or not.
Okay. Do you want to react to that, sir, Honourable?
Let me let you know something. When Buhari came into government, people believed that Buhari will perform magic the way he started. He traveled all around the whole world without appointing single minister for the first 6 months. He kept moving around. And as he's traveling to the country, so the investors are leaving our countries. Today now I can see what is happening now. The Emirate flight ceased operation in Nigeria. And Buhari did not do anything. He folded his arms and they allow it to happen. Today now Tinubu has come in and is trying to revamp those things that have been laid fallow. That will tell you who has what it takes to govern a state or a country.
So are you saying that the economy is way better right now than it was
our economy is growing
nearly a year ago?
It's growing seriously. You can see what is happening now at this dollar exchange rate. You can't fold your hand. You are at the end of affair. Things is going wrong and you fold your hand. He doesn't want to do anything. You allow things keep spoiling every day. Things keep going down every day. And he said you are the president of the country.
With the current hardship, it's very obvious that there's a current hardship going on in the country as a whole. There's hardship going on. So you'd say that you're saying that the economy is way better than it was a year ago.
The economy as it is right now is better than what it used to be a year ago. Forget about it. See, let me tell you something. It's just like when you are in a room, AC is on, or ceiling. Okay, let me use ceiling fan. There is a ceiling fan revolving. And somebody said, no, this place is very dirty. Please, I want to sweep this place so that we'll have a comfortable place to stay. And they say, I want to switch off the fan so that it will not disturb this thing, so that we'll have time to clean the place well. And some people will say, no, don't off the fan. Allow the fan like this. Allow the fan. Instead, don't sweep this place. Let us suffer the heat. The person said, no, off this fan. Let's suffer the heat now and get it right. That is what is happening in the country right now.
All right. People with disabilities.
Very apt.
Yes. The National Emergency. The National Emergency Agency on Monday distributed relief items to residents with disabilities who were affected by a recent fire incident in a community on the outskirts of Abuja. The Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubaida Umar, has flagged off the relief distribution in Abuja, affirmed the agency's commitment to prioritize the protection of rights and welfare of vulnerable persons and those living with disabilities during emergency situations and response to disasters. She said the relief were provided by NEMA following requests by the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities for the agency to support them after the fire incidents at Kamojiji that destroyed their homes, degraded their livelihoods, and had subjected them to more hardship. What do you think about this development, especially looking as it concerns people living with disability, they haven't quite been given a lot of attention in most cases. We even had, I don't know if you remember, a public outcry of a certain politician's son, a politician's son who came out saying he was not treated nicely by people because of his disability. Now that this agency is looking at people living with disability, do you believe that things are being done better right now, putting a torchlight to them?
There should be equal distribution. You know, sometimes when people say Nigeria, we are in one Nigeria, when they are beginning to marvel, how are we one Nigerians? How are we one Nigerians? When it happens in the northern part of the country, there will be a quick response. But when it happens in the southern part of the country, there will be no response. A lot of something critical, more critical than this, have been happening in the southern region of the country. But NEMA has never responded. They have never responded to anyone. Look at the one that happened at this Nembe water side, where there was fire outbreak and a lot of people died and people lose properties worth billions of naira. And the NEMA has been notified. Up to now, they have not responded. The one that happened in the Andoni River, when a boat conveying over 25 persons capsided in the river, and there was a family of a man who owns the boat lost about 6 of his children in that incident. Up to now, none of them, despite the call on NEMA to please visit the family and see what they can do to the people. The people lost over 16 persons in that incident in the river. As a result of that boat mishap, they will lose 16 souls in the river, and up to now, NEMA has not done anything. But just ordinary fire outbreak that nobody, no life was lost. No, and they quickly intervened because it happened in the northern part of the country. But when it happened in the southern part, nobody...
Okay, you need to understand that this relief was sent out to people living with disability. Do we have people living with disability here in River State, here in the south, compared to people living with disability in the north?
If I can understand that the news very well, is that they were giving the relief material as a result of fire outbreak. No, just read it again, you see what I'm saying. They were not giving that the palliative because of their condition. No.
My question, even though that it is as a result of a fire outbreak, but the relief was given to people living with disability. And you know, it is obvious that it's not just people living with disability that were affected by this fire outbreak. But then a relief was given especially to these people living with disability.
Is there any community in the whole world that does not have one disability? One disabled, at least one. They have. And when just my place, a lot of flood, like when flood happened in my place. And even right there we are so many disabled persons. But up to now, even despite series of call that NEMA should intervene, up to now nothing has happened. Nothing. The people with disability that are still there. There are people who don't even have this. I don't know how do they call it. This thing they used to these people without the limb now. They used to what do they call it? Wheelchair. They don't have. And they are living at the coastal area. They are living at the coastal area where they are being surrounded by the river and water. Sometimes water will come and it will take over all their houses and everything. People like that, how do you think they can survive without leg? How do you think they can survive in that kind of situation? But that kind of thing has never happened in the northern part of the country. In the next 1 hour, you see response from NEMA. May God help us.
Barrister Hassan, do you agree with him saying that there's a certain bias when it comes to NEMA responding to people living with disability in the north faster than they respond to them people living with disability here in the south? And do you believe that there is some sort of balance, or it's close in comparison when you compare the population of people living with disability in the north and people living with disability here in the south?
Well, I don't, wholly agree with him about Neymar being discriminatory, but I believe that Neymar is corrupt. It's a corrupt entity. Neymar is part of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. Are they not under the ministry that a young lady, had to fleece Nigeria of so much amount of money, just spending 3 months in power? And we now found out that even her predecessor minister, if I call it ministress now because they are both women, you understand, kind of flees the country in a haste, and what was now regarded as malfeasance, that is morbid, monumental corruption in that ministry. These two people bled that ministry, to the point that the white blood cells could not manufacture more blood for that ministry. And that is my own take on this, that Neymar, being that the parent, ministry is corrupt, means that Neymar itself is riddled with corruption. Because when you say you distribute...
Barrister Adam, would you is there any agency that you can say right now does not have a perk of corruption?
There's no one. I can't generalize. The one we're after now is Neymar. So, from what I've seen, is that, for instance, people donate blankets to them, donate food stuff, etc. as case may be. There have been instances where those donations are not seen. They go into oblivion. They can even sell them. Officials of Neymar can sell them. I have never seen Neymar operate with this my kuro eyes in any part of the country. The way I see, apart from the one I see on television, where they say they went to Adamawa or wherever to go and rescue. I don't know what they are doing there. But the one that happened there when there was massive flooding, that perennial flooding that normally takes over most parts of the Benue Trough down to Bayelsa, all the way from East Central Nigeria, Central Nigeria, down to this particular area. It affected Bayelsa State. They were looking for materials for reliefs. They didn't come.
So what legal steps do you think should be taken to curb the corrupt practices, according to you, by Neymar?
What needs to be done is to put people with conscience, in the helm of affairs of these agencies. Nigeria has men of conscience. There are men in Nigeria today who have integrity, who would not want to put their hands into what does not belong to them, except you give to them. You see, we have to start looking for those kind of leaders. You might not say they were manufactured. Those kind of leaders were built, right from their family unit, etc., to where they are today. There are so many people that walk these streets of Nigeria that are capable of doing more than some of these people are doing. It's not because they are saints or whatever as case may be, but at least they will reduce corruption to the barest minimum and eliminate embezzlement, personal embezzlement and aggrandizement, as the case may be, and go their way. You see a man that is working with Neymar, he will tell you, I'm just the SA to one person. He has about 15 houses in Abuja and wherever. You ask him where he got the money, say it's by God miracle, as case may be. Things are not done that way. And the man will go scot-free. Nobody will hold that man responsible. So what are people talking about these people giving, what kind of materials did they even distribute? Okay, why did they not list what they distributed? Going there to give them loaves of bread and tea and whatever, we will feed them for 1 hour.
So what legal steps do you think that the government should take to curtail these corrupt practices?
So it's to put people that put square pegs in square holes. The government owes us a duty, to put square pegs in square holes, because you see, if Nigeria were to be an oil giant, like some of these oil giants we have in Nigeria here, if they want to recruit staff that will take over positions in that city, they will not just go to the street and pick anybody. They must go through a particular test of integrity, etc., before they now select someone to come and put in there. But they don't do that. What they do here in Nigeria is that if I'm in power, I wait for my remote friend who has been in the village, hungry for food or whatever. I will bring him there to come and sit there. Once he sits there, a man has been hungry for years. Once he sees a place where money comes every day, I'm telling you, within 1 week, he will loot the whole place dry. That is what is happening in Nigeria. Just look at it. Calm down. Let it be that the Senate, we look at the pedigree, antecedent of these people and the proactiveness and the appropriateness of somebody fitting into, a Neymar, for instance. You can't take me to Neymar now to go and work when I have never worked in safety departments or in any company. I don't have any experience in rescue, search and rescue. I don't have any experience in humanitarian affairs, as the case may be. You cannot be employed to be a caregiver outside Nigeria if you don't have the requisite, experience to be that. So that is it. That is what we are asking the government to do. There's no more to that. There should be sanity in some of all these things that we are doing. We know that the government can do that. Through periscoping by the Senate and the National Assembly that we have. Nigerians are trooping abroad now for different vocations. Let me tell you, ask any Nigerian that's gotten a job in any sphere. A job that needs specialist attention, they can't give it to you. Whether you know the prime minister or whatever the case may be, if you don't have that experience, the requisite experience and managerial skills, they will never give you that job. Not the president or governor coming to say, I want to satisfy my political, friends, what I call political traders. I want to satisfy them. I say, please come in, Mr. Chukwu. Let's come and hear this place. Meanwhile, Mr. Chukwu was a lecturer at one of the universities in Nigeria here. He knows something about management of search and rescue. He knows about humanitarian, whatever his case may be. I will say, go and head there. He'll be thanking me as if I'm the owner of the ministry. Or maybe say, he will go to his church and begin to campaign and say, God has given me miracle. I sat in my house and they came down and they picked me up. So we must be, see, we have human beings who can do more than what some people are doing in this country. I know the country will be better for all of us.
All right. Still talking about curbing corrupt practices, the federal government of Nigeria has launched a mobile application that allows citizens to track the activities and performance of ministries and government agencies using their deliverables and key performance indicators. The mobile application, which is tagged Citizens Delivery Tracker, was unveiled by the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Policy and Coordination and head of the Central Coordination Delivery Unit, CDCU, Hadiza Usman, at Transcorp Hilton, Abuja on Monday, 8 April. According to her, the CDCU aims to build public trust in the government and promote transparency and accountability at all levels with the delivery tracker. Honorable, what do you think about this welcome development?
You call it welcome development. It's their own opinion. It's a welcome development.
So what is
in my own opinion, I don't see it as a welcome development. What is important is not bringing out what do they call? Bringing out a tracker to track the performance of the ministry. I don't think that is the right way to go. The best way to go, that I think, is to appointing the right person in the right ministry, employing the people, mounting people at the in the office where they can fit in, and not by telling us that they want to. The tracker, what would the tracker do? What would that tracker do? What would the tracker do to assess the performance of the ministry? How? Then when you assess the performance of the ministry, what will not be the benefit of the public when you assess the performance of the ministry? So to me, I don't see it as the way forward. Sometimes when they appoint you will look for avenue to siphon. It's normal. It's what is happening. Let it be as if you are working. Just an avenue to just push one thing. I want to dwell on this. Government, you write a memo to the president as a minister of this, and I want this to happen in my ministry so that I believe if this is approved, it will help your government. And before you know, governor, the president will approve it for you. When you approve it, you will get your money from me.
But as a young man who represents the young people, Honorable, don't you think this technological approach to curbing corrupt practices within agencies is a great stride put up by the president? Looking at it, this is technology we're speaking about. It's a different approach from what has been used in previous times. Don't you think this is a welcome development?
I have told you.
Don't you think this will be efficient? More efficient?
I have told you. The problem is not the machine itself, not the machine, not the apparatus. The problem is the people that handle the machine, people that created the machine, invented the machine, is the problem. He can do is not by assessing the performance of the ministry through the machine. If there is anything that they can, if there is any machine that they can invent it, that will be like human being, that it can be president can be controlling on its own. Say no, this ministry, this should be like a robot, so that I will be controlling. I want it to perform. This is how I want this ministry to perform. Then you use that robot and be controlling it. It will be it will be better than this. This will not give us any this thing.
Barrister Asim, would you like to react to what he has just said?
Yes, I agree with him. See, you know, Nigeria, we like using gargantuan acronyms. You know, when you say acronyms, say CDC. What does it mean on CDC? It's just like I would say MAMSA in those days. Vision 2010, Vision 2020, now Vision 2050. Now we are getting to Vision 2050. Now they are shifting that to Vision 2070. So that is the mantra, the Nigerian narrative has been like that. In the sense that some people will come in, craft one kind of, Behemotian, theories around tracking, whatever as the case may be. What are we tracking? The question I'm asking is this. Is it not for Ministry of Information to open their website? I go to their website on my phone. I now go there, find out who is the minister here, who is the head, what are your programs? I see how they have gone very far. Do I need the federal government tracker on my phone to track them? Am I tracking animals or am I tracking bandits who are on the forest? What is there? The Freedom of Information Act is already there. It allows everybody, if I want to know some things about any government agency, even the Aso Rock and whatever as case may be, under the Freedom of Information Act, I can apply and get information concerning any ministry, anything around for my use. The only one the law says they cannot give to you are those one we call official secrets. You understand? They cannot reveal of a government official secret to you. You know, but all other information under the Freedom of Information Act, I can get it from the ministry.
Okay.
Assuming that, okay.
Talking about the Freedom of Information Act, don't the process of applying to get these information, looking at us being in a fast-moving world right now, with the advent of technology in place, technology is what is the vogue at the moment. Do you not think it is a faster approach for citizens to get information than going through a lot of application processes? We know how it is with applying with things in the ministries. Do you not believe, or do you not think that this mobile app is a faster approach for citizens to getting answers and getting knowledge of whatever they seek, and to also curb these corrupt practices which you earlier mentioned in agencies?
See, I think that is the idea for which they say a direct access. But I don't really think you need a direct whatever to access your information, or a quicker access, to getting information from the ministries. This app, I am telling you as it is, by December of this year, you will not hear anything about it again. You understand? You will not hear anything about it again. So when you see things like this happen, they just want to promote and send memos to president or whoever to show that they are working. This app, I am telling you that both app will be better. That's e-hailing both app will be better than that particular app. You log in, you might not even access anything. As the case may be, that's the Nigerian narrative. We are aware of that. You see, I still subscribe to the fact that the ministries and even government should play, what I refer to as a glasnost and perestroika, as it happened in Russia, openness. When you open everything about this, people will know exactly that ministry is operating. Do you know that in Ghana, if I want to know the health status of the president of Ghana, I can do that through Google. If I type it or whatever he said, they'll bring it, but not those particular, official and confidential, health secret of this man, or maybe the DNA and the rest of them. They will not give to me. But I will know his status, I will know exactly what he's suffering from and the rest of them. But in Nigeria here, if you do that, even with this app, nobody will answer you. They will even block you, as the case may be. So the best thing is that instead of wasting that money, because you are going to hear to know that they use about 1.something billion in the budget to set up this tracker, as the case may be, because the person there might be giving his friend who has a tracking company job to come and install one CDC to monitor whatever, forgetting that Google, if you put all your information where it should be, we Google effortlessly and seamlessly. I can tap in and know what's happening in the Ministry of Agriculture for me. So I believe it's a waste of time, waste of resources, and a ploy to deceive us and hoodwink Nigerians from getting the reality show. Otherwise, why can't they be, whatever, very open? Let me shock you. Do you know that, as I speak with you, under the Constitution of Nigeria, every state of the Federation and every agency of the Federation, be it ministry, be it the agency of government, ought to bring their audited report published in all Nigerian newspaper or maybe any of the media houses, as the case may be. You are supposed to submit your audited report. Both the state. Can you tell me or point to one ministry or state that has done an audit of his budget year ending by December? None. The federal government does not do that. NNPC does not. You see, if you look at what is happening now, these same people here that are doing this thing, they have an open budget, but nobody's going to audit them. So my own take on this is that waste of time is what all these things are. I'm comfortable with my phones. If I want to go there and talk about Ministry of Agriculture, I should be able to enter Ministry of Agriculture Nigeria, NG. It will give me every project they are doing. Even if it take me 2 hours to get this, but let it be that I have downloaded it.
So, sir, are you saying that going through the websites, going through a website is faster than going through a mobile app?
For me, I think I prefer the website. If this mobile app, it might be a contraption. You understand? That is what I feel. It might be a contraption. But let me, for the benefit of the doubt, let them do it and let us see. We are waiting for them. Let us see what they will do with this. But for me, I know nothing good is going to come out of it, because already information recovery in Nigeria is stifled. It's stifled. There are times you want to find out, a sitting governor to find out, do what they call a background check. If the DSS discover that you are in trouble, they will pick you and deal with you. Just like the president want to know exactly how it is. They say you have hacked into the presidency, whatever as case may be, and they deal with you. So that is why we run away from things like that. Let me maintain my Google.
Okay, I think some faith should be, given. So we should have some faith. Anyway, moving on to the next story, President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of the National Health Fellows Program, with young Nigerian fellows to be engaged in all the 774 local government areas in the country. In his determination to comprehensively upgrade existing primary healthcare centers and construct over 8,800 new primary healthcare centers across all local government areas in the country for accessible and qualitative healthcare delivery. The fellowship program will be domiciled in the Sector-Wide Approach (SWAP) Coordination Office under the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The fellows will be recruited, remunerated, and equipped with appropriate tools to track the performance of basic healthcare provision, fund-supported health facilities across the nation. this is an obvious employment purpose that the government, the president has, done at the moment. This is him putting young people first and putting young people in professional settings according to the way or their positions. What do you think about this? Especially in the healthcare sector, in the healthcare, throwing light in the healthcare. The healthcare is ailing. We have a lot of young Nigerians, young doctors leaving. And now that we have an opening which the president is trying to fill, what do you...
You don't even need to spend much of your time in analyzing this. What is good is what is good. It is very and highly commendable. Very and highly commendable. Just like in River State during the tenure of Right Honorable Uchubike Amechi, the former governor of River State. He built the health center across the 23 local government areas. And that actually created employment opportunities for the indigenous of River State. Not just only indigenous of River State. People who are not from River State, they are also employed into those health care centers. And about 45 medical doctors we are also employed. We are also employed and distributed to all the primary health care in the River State. And up to now, some are still functioning. Despite the fact that, the problem we have in Nigeria is maintenance culture. You go to some local government, some of the health center is not working because as a result of the change in batting, when the next government take over, sometimes they may not like to continue with some of the projects of the previous government. And that has also been the problem in Nigeria. So if the president of the country today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has said he want to build 800 health centers across the 774 local governments.
Yes.
We have 774 local governments. And my advice to the president is that while distributing this project, there should be equal distribution. There should be no favoritism. We have 724 local government, and it is building 8,800. Please, there should be equal in distribution. South should have equal with what the North we have. East should have equal with what the West we have, because we are one Nigeria. And I also urge Mr. President, not by building this, there should be also not by building these health centers. Sustainability is another big challenge we have in Nigeria. In Nigeria, it has been our culture. We don't have that sustenance culture. So please, I want to advise Mr. President, while distributing this and while building this healthcare center across the 774 local governments in Nigeria, we should try and make sure that there is a process of maintenance. They should ensure that he established that process of maintenance, so that those properties will not end up being left fallow.
You spoke about maintaining equal distribution.
Yeah.
Don't you think that population should play a major role in distribution when it comes to the establishment of these health centers across the local government areas?
Okay. You know what we are doing. We do when it has to do with sharing of government incentives. We don't do it based on my people are bigger than the other people. You do it based on the local government. You do it based on the states. You do it based on the zones. You know, we have basically 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Understand? We have south geopolitical. We have southeast, southwest, north central, northeast, and northwest. So when you are sharing something, always consider that. Always consider that. It's very, very important, because this is pure political. It's pure political. We are not running a church program. A church political. Everybody voted for Mr. President. So if Mr. President has come up with something that will benefit the people who have voted for him in one way or the other, please, it should be distributed equally, so that everybody will be carried along. Thank you.
Barrister Adams, 8,800 health centers to be distributed, to be established. Do you think it's too much?
It's not even enough, because like my own colleague said here, I witnessed the time Amechi then built health centers in every nook and crannies, and they are the ones still surviving and bringing health care closer to the people. If you look at the big hospitals around, some of them are not even within the locality where we reside. There are villages that they don't even have any health facility that is there. But the primary health care centers were sited in very far-flung places, where to the reach of everybody, as the case may be. When I was also growing up, this is the kind of system that was operated in Nigeria at that time. We had what they call dispensary. There were dispensaries all over the place. You have centers of this nature that were very close, to you, that you can just saunter into and take your treatment and go back to where you are going to. Now, if you have 8,800, I am of the opinion, and I have just done a rough calculation of this, with 74 local government areas in Nigeria, he's talking about 10, average of 10 per LGA. You understand? Yeah. And me, I'm looking at it that it's even you should up it to like 10,000, so that it can spread everywhere. And see, let me tell you something. A lot of Nigerians are dying on a daily basis. And you'll be very shocked that most Nigerians who die, the kind of sicknesses that kill them are very little or minute, something that they don't even have money to buy the recommended drugs and injections. That is why you see they pass out and they just go like that, and nobody cares.
All right, yes. Let's quickly move on to the last story.
All right, okay.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has suspended all events at the International Conference Center in the FCT over poor maintenance.
Yes.
Wike, while announcing the suspension after he inspected the center on Monday, explained that the suspension was to enable Julius Berger to carry out holistic rehabilitation of the center. The ministry, after going round the facility, described it as a near conference center, saying there was nothing international about the center. He explained that he would not probe anybody on what led to the rot of the center, but to move on, get the job done, and give the country a befitting international conference center. Just yesterday, the FCT minister, he pledged his support to the Obako Ekwere group concerning his efficiency. He pledged that he was going to be very efficient as FCT minister, and he was not going to disappoint his people. Seeing his works currently as FCT minister, the former governor Wike, do you think that his decision to close it down at this point for construction purpose is a great decision?
No, because of time, I would not like to take much of time.
Yes,
please,
yes.
I don't have time.
Quickly,
I'll just go straight to the point. Wike, right from when he was the governor of Rivers State, he was giving a title, title as the Master Project,
yes,
by the then Vice President, that he is the Master Project. And you see, in River State, we are all seeing his handwriting, his footsteps everywhere, footprint everywhere. Today, he has migrated to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And as the minister of FCT, he is doing very well. You know, it's what they call International Conference Center. It's not National Conference Center. International, where other countries, when they come, they gather there. With Nigerians, they do when they want to have ECOWAS meeting and the rest of things. That is where they gather. So that kind of place shouldn't be the way it is now. So somebody who is oriented when it has to do with project, he has seen the place and said, no, this place can't be like this now. This is an international conference center. I have to see what I can do with my wealth of experience and do. So that is what it is.
Okay, Barrister Sims, quickly, 1 minute, your take.
I lived in Abuja for some time, and I know that international conference center was a beauty to behold, with splendor and ambience of the environment. When you get in there, you just think you are in a capsule going to space, as the case may be. But recently, I was also there. I found out that it was in a very shabby and dilapidated, manner, as the case may be. I heard that rats and rodents and even snakes were occupying some of the areas.
Okay, so you think it's necessary?
Very necessary to renovate, and I love what the FCT minister is doing. To bring back that place to its past glory. The only thing I just want to add is that apart from this conference center, they should look for land around there to add what I call an event center where musicians from abroad, like people who play popular, who come and be performing in Abuja side by side the conference. That is what I'm asking there.
All right. This is where we wrap it up on today's episode of Blowout. It's been quite an amazing time discussing these issues with you. Barrister Adams,
yes,
always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
a pleasure always.
Thank you.
All right.
Happy to be here.
Okay, stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website at www.atlantic-net.work.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Divine Bernard. Up next is Open Conversation with Laurentia Ogu.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business,